Hi, my name is Dr. Darienne Hudson, and I'm the President and CEO of the United Way for Southeastern Michigan. For me, the most significant barrier that I've broken, they go hand in hand. It really is age and gender. I've always been the youngest person to take on most roles that I've had, and I've been a CEO now for 10 and a half years. And when I first became superintendent for Milwaukee Public Schools, I was 36, and I was also the first woman to take on that role. And transitioning to United Way, still the youngest person in that role as well as the first woman at the United Way for Southeastern Michigan. So for me, those are definitely, I think they go to it hand in hand. You can't really separate them when I think about the barriers that I've had to overcome. I think it's important that people see real-time examples of themselves, and I believe so strongly in the power of young people, so I want those who are considered young, often dismissed, to be able to look at my life as an example of truly what's possible for them. And one of the things that brings me joy in doing this work is the opportunity to speak with young leaders, aspiring leaders, and talk about my experiences and just let them know that you can do it too. One of the things that's most important for me when I think about my leadership legacy is really service before self. The importance of collaboration and every role that I've had, whether it was my earlier years in education or the work that I'm doing now in a nonprofit, it's always been about service to community and children and families. And I think it's really essential that we're able to use the influence that we have to be able to serve those who need us most. The role that I have now affords me the opportunity to work with leaders, community members, children, families from all over our region. And in that role, I have the opportunity to make changes for people in lasting ways every day, whether it's making sure that they have food on the table, that they can pay their utilities, that they have access to transportation and technology. For me, it's really the power of the team and bringing people together from all walks of life. That's the best part of my job at United Way. We're powered by people. So bringing people from all different life experiences together to realize that they can make a difference, that they can have impact in meaningful and lasting ways. The most significant moment for me when I think about the power of my influence happened at the beginning of the pandemic. And we were trying to determine how we could best service the community as the United Way, and quickly had to spring into action. I began cold calling foundations, leaders, community members, donors in our community to be able to raise funds to try to help our community. We were at a level of crisis that was unprecedented, and being able to mobilize a team very quickly, internally and externally, to raise dollars. We were able to raise $37 million to support the community in 2020 outside of our regular fundraising. And I think about, it wasn't just a name or a title, but I was willing to do the work. I was able to really roll my sleeves up and work with my team, partnering with organizations, foundations, to be able to get aid to those who need it most. And so that's definitely a moment I look back on and realize I had the opportunity to really make a difference, and I was able to do so with my influence. For me, what I want people to remember most is, first and foremost, I love children. I love families. I believe in the power of education. And I truly do believe in the power of the team and bringing people together to be able to do this work. If you want to go fast, you can go alone. If you want to go far, you go together, as the African proverb says. And for me, that's what I want people to hold on to, is that I've always been a collaborator and someone who truly believes that everyone can make a difference, regardless of their life circumstances. And we have a responsibility to do that with the platforms that we've been given to be able to make a difference. So I'm hoping that's the legacy that I'm able to leave behind. For me, when I think about advice, it's almost like little reminders that go off in your head from time to time, especially when you've hit maybe a lower moment. And for me, I think about advice two different ways, or the most useful advice I've gotten in two different ways. One, that your job does not define you, your title does not define you. It's really important that you know who you are, whose you are, and your core values, because jobs will come and go, titles will come and go, but who you are is really what's going to last and what's going to be left with people. But I also have to say, especially now as a CEO and as a mom and as a wife, one of the things that my mother told me, she says all the time, make sure you do a load of laundry every day. And it sounds so simple, but it's one of those things where it's like you still have to do the small things. You still have to be able to keep up because you wear all of these roles and all of these hats simultaneously. And so we can get caught up in one aspect of our professional career or our personal career, but I just always think about that and just chuckle and say no matter what you're doing, no matter who you're meeting, all the places you're going, you still have to make sure that you keep up with the small things at home. Never underestimate the power of a single action. For me, those are rules that I live by. Oftentimes people play themselves down, they play themselves small, thinking that they can't make a difference or they don't have the power or they don't have the role to be able to drive change. But I really believe that everybody can make a difference in big ways and small ways. Every action does create a reaction, and so never underestimate the power that from where you sit you can have on making a difference in your community. Oftentimes I go to Thurgood Marshall and I think about the work that he had to do as an educator, lifelong educator, Brown versus Board of Education. It just really is the foundation for everything that happens in education today. And I think about the fortitude that he had to have in that moment, defending that case, and how he was able to use that opportunity just to continue to thrive and ultimately become the first Black Supreme Court Justice. And I think about him often and the hardships that he had in getting to that role, but how he was able to use every platform that he had to make a difference for the community. For me, so I have a toddler at home. His name is Bryson, and so I think about the possibilities for him. Seeing the world through his eyes gives me so much hope. It's easy to get caught up in a lot of what's happening around us, and there's a lot of divisiveness. But when you see things through the eyes of a 2-year-old, the innocence that he has, it just reminds me that there really is a brighter tomorrow ahead of us. And so when I think about the promise of his potential, and then you multiply that times thousands of children that are in our community, I bet on them. I really think about our young people and the potential that they have to continue to drive change and make a difference, not only in our community, but around the world. This is a special honor for me when I think about many of the awards that I've received over time. To be recognized by the Michigan Chronicle, it means that you're being recognized by your people, and being recognized because of the influence and impact that I've been able to have on the Black community. It really is something special I don't take for granted. It's an honor to be in this role. I also feel tremendous responsibility being named one of the Power 50 because this is something that can't just be one time. We have to continue to push, to lead, and to hold ourselves accountable for making sure that we can do everything that we can to uplift our community.